Okay, hello everyone. So today we're going to once again look at the Emmet Powergizer CRM, and today we will be looking at form fields. So as you can see on my screen right now, I have the Launchpad open. And again, I am using Emmet Virtual Support um, just area that we're using that as a cleaner slate that you can see. So if you have your Powergizer, obviously you're probably going to have one CRM. If you have multiple, like us, we utilize a CRM specifically for virtual support team, so that we can preserve and protect um, data as well, for the virtual support team because they do have access to just more information and more data. So we'll give them, more access. But anyway, coming back to the form fields. So today that's going to be our focus. We're going to focus on creating form fields for our virtual support team. So some of you will have technical support, digital support, social media support. Now, you can categorize this by creating different folders in your CRM, but we're building this CRM specifically for support. But you could do different folders. So earlier, we did opportunities already. If you have not yet seen how to create your pipeline for opportunities and for pipeline, go ahead and watch our video on that. So right now we're going to go to form fields. So we're going to go to settings. So when you land in your CRM, you're at Launchpad, go down to the bottom and click on settings. Some will find that their CRM is set up a little bit differently because they might have different tiers, whether you have the business, the professional, or the enterprise. And then we're going to click on custom fields. So we are going to look at custom fields. Now, this is based on the snapshot for the home service. So a lot of these that are in here for home service snapshot, yours will not probably not have as many fields in there already, but the folders is where we're going to start. So traditionally, all of our CRM comes with the contact, general info, or the additional info, unless you have a specific CRM that you purchase from us. For example, if you purchase a real estate snapshot, if you purchase a school snapshot, if you purchase a consulting snapshot, a coaching or counseling snapshot, determines what form fields you have. So now we're going to use the folder first to separate our virtual support form fields. And I'm going to show you why this is important in a minute. So let's go with, so we have these folders, we're going to add some more folders. So we're going to click add folders. And there are certain folders that I need to have. I'm going to change a couple of folders, but for right now, add folders. All right, so one of the folders I want to have, because this is virtual support, is the details of the issue that we're supporting. We have two options. Either we can put it under the contact information or we can put it under the opportunity information. Again, if you haven't seen our opportunity video, do that so that we can track what's going on with this folder. But generally, you would put it under contact. So leave it in the default contact and you're going to click save. And there you have a folder. The next thing we want to know from a virtual support standpoint, if you have a virtual support team, you want to know what happens with a ticket when it creates a ticket. So you want to have a ticket management field and you click save. The other thing you want to have is how did this issue got resolved? So you need to have resolution and feedback and you put it under contact and you click save. Now remember, you cannot edit the contact. You cannot edit, these are permanent fields, the general information, and you cannot edit the additional info information. These are default fields, right? Now, if you want to have a field that is specific to whoever is requesting, because it doesn't mean that the contact or the company that submit the information, like you have some organization use one account and a user like departmentalize their users, you still want to know who is the contact information, the requester information. You can leave that under contact information and just edit the fields in there. And then you can use these additional fields for different things, right? So maybe that's what we want to do. We want the requester information to be under the contact details, right? Um, and then, so we're going to click on contact details. Now, this is for virtual support, this entirely, right? So, other than verifying someone's account, there's some information that we don't care about to be under here. However, it traditionally comes with these default. You see how it says standard fields? And then you see contact first name, the unique information. These are default fields that comes with the CRM, right? So you can, some of them can be edited, right? But when you complete a contact form, these fields are in the contact form and they will populate in these areas. So you don't want to change your default information. Notice that you cannot edit first name because every contact form generally and every account needs first name, last name. If it's full name, it will populate it there as well. Um, then you notice that you cannot edit the email. There's some things you can't edit. You can't edit the phone number, can edit the birthday. You cannot edit the source. But if you look, you can edit the type. So if you click on edit for type, it's because some people have leads, some people have customers, some people have students, right? So who do you have in your virtual support department, right? You should never have a lead unless your virtual support or your technical support takes on new clients, but ours doesn't, right? So we're going to change that. Generally, we have students, we typically have customers. Those are so we say purchasers, purchase. Oh, we say purchase e. We don't say customers. We came up with our own little word purchase e. So that's someone that just purchases our product, right? And then because we use the term client, but we don't want to, because we have services and we have products, we like to say purchasing, right? Then we have our staff, right? So then we have our staff. And generally, that's what you'll see on our end. We have students, we have purchasing, we have clients, and then we have staff. Who is it that is trying to Now, the client serves as the client. We can do two things. Sometimes in some of our system, you'll see this client owner and you'll see client employee. And if we have approval or permission to speak with their tech support, you'll see us sometimes we'll put client um, contractors because it depends on the type of clients we have. Everybody's different, right? So we know that it's a client related matter, but we can differentiate. We save that, and that is under contact. Where does this information fall? Well, when you go to put a contact in for the first time, notice we purposely have no contacts because we want to demonstrate this today. And you go to add a contact and you put a contact in, the contact type is right here. And you choose what type of contact it is. Okay? So that's where you see that information. So in the CRM, those who are using the CRM, typically most of your employees probably won't have access to settings. They will see these information populate under when a contact is in, all the fields will populate that you put in as folders, right? So that's how you separate your different departments, your different sections, so on and so forth. So custom field, folders. So right now you have the contact folder that has all the details. We're working in that one right now. So we know we have the user type or the type of contact, right? Now, when you go to edit, you can also change the name on what you want to say here. Now, let me see. Nope, this is a default. That's what I was thinking about. This is a default, so you cannot change it. That's right. But you can definitely change where it goes and change the information in there. My apologies there. So next thing we're going to do, we want to have, so we have the requester's name. We have first and last name, the requester's contact information, their email, their phone number. We have the contact, the requester type, right? And we want to have, sometimes it's good to have the department that they are generally requesting from. So we can put department. Now we can differentiate what type of department or type of institution or type of school. But right now I'm just going to put it as a single line. You could change it later just for the sake of time. So we're going to put department. And then we can put department or school. So in my case, I'm putting department and school because we have multiple schools, right? So it depends on how your organization is set up. Maybe you have different subsidiaries or different institutions, so on. And then I hit save. Now, if I wanted to make this for instance, for me specifically, I know what our departments and our schools are that we have virtual support. So I am going to go back later and instead of putting just the single line, I am going to do a drop down, right? And I am going to put, now if I want the department to be added to, because I have department in school, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a multiple line drop down. And I am going to put department, I'm going to do it in reverse, school and department. And what's going to happen? I will put the school here. So we're going to put our main organization first because we have employees that works in the main organization. So Emmett Global Education Group. Then I am going to put Emmett See, I said I was gonna do it, but I end up doing it, right? University. Sometimes it's best to show because when you think you understand something, somebody else might not understand exactly what you're saying, right? And then we have Emmett, and this might get a chance to trigger different things for different institutions. School of Ministry, right? Then we have Emmett Professional Institute. So whatever your main organizations are, or if you want to use this for department and position, maybe this is the department you're putting at this point. I want them to write in their department. So I'm just going to put the school. So then we have Emmett Professional Services because we do offer professional services. Then those of you who are using this Powergizer know that we have Emmett Powergizer. We're just grateful to God for all this that God has blessed us with. Emmett Powergizer CRM. Ah, I just feel the Holy Spirit. So Emmett Powergizer CRM. Then we have the fivefold. Isn't God good? Fivefold. Oh, come on. National. I'm just going to put certification board for short. It's National Certification Board, Certification Board. Did I miss anything? And then, all right. So we're going to leave it at that, right? So we're going to click. So we have Emmett, EGEC, EGU, ESUM, EPI, Professional Services, Emmett Pro, and then we're going to click Save. So what's going to happen when a contact is put in, and we have a contact in? Now you're not seeing everything here because the contact is not in yet. So we're going to put in, we're going to put in a contact right now. So let's go ahead and put in one of our contacts. Choo, choo, choo. So we're going to put in just Joe. I could change the name later. Test. And we're going to put the email as what can we use the email as? Let's go with serve@emmetschool.com. And if we had a second email, we will put the second email there. We're going to put the phone number. So we're going to put our main phone number. So let's put 276-421. And actually, let's add the virtual support information. How about that? So we're going to make the person's name Emmett Virtual Support. That's the last name. He's married, so Emmett Virtual Support Team, right? So 276-421-4200 is our local number. And we're going to put that this is a staff, right? We're going to put the time zone that the person is in. This is important because when they go to book an appointment on the calendar, you want the appointment to be booked based on where they're located. And when you go to book it, you're selecting their time. Their time is showing up, right? So we're going to pretend like this person is in Lagos, all right? And we're going to say save. And the contact is there. Now look, now we get to see all the fields, right? So the first name, last name, the email. Because the email is in, we have the option to email them. because a phone number is in, the option to phone come on. If there was no phone number here, if this phone number was deleted and we hit save, there would not be an option to send them a Sims message, right? Isn't that cool? So we're going to put the phone number back and it's saved. So now see, it pops up. All right. So date of birth, sometimes it's necessary, sometimes it's not. Contact source, people use it for different reasons. Maybe just the source of where the lead came from. But now we get to see, here's the staff, what department, see why we use that multiple box there is because we want to be able to implement what department, because we said school and department. So we have the school and department again there, right? So we're going to choose the school. So we know that the school is the major company that's in there. And we click save. So that's save. And we're going to put school and department. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put virtual support. Right? See the fields that I put? The ticket issue, there's no fields yet, sorry, the folders, ticket management and resolution and feedback. This is the general information that was there. There was some fields there already. Which business is this for and all that? This is very important. And then there's additional information as well. So we're going to click save because I want to get back to the form fields. There's so much I could show you, but let's get back to the form fields. So we're going to go back there. We're going to click folder again because when it opens up by default, all the fields that exist in this system shows up, right? Some of these you might want to delete them to avoid confusion, right? But let's just say we click on folders again because we want to organize. It's the best place to go so that you can structure better. All right, so we know that we fill in all the contact information. We're going to skip general and additional for right now, right? Because we're going to decide what we want general information to be. We already know that business information is on there. But let's look at the issue. So from a tech support standpoint, what are some fields that you would want under issue? So for us, we would definitely want to know what the issue category is going to be, right? So we would want to know that. What category does this issue fall under? So some people might use a drop down. Some people might use a radio field so that they could just click it. Or some people might use a checkbox because maybe there's multiple issues, right? So you want to be able to check multiple things. I'll say use a checkbox. You can use a checkbox. Or some people might use a multi-line for their issue as well, so that they can put what the issue is, and then they can type something additional in the area. I love multi-line for that because when you click multi-line, when you go to next, right, you could put what the issue is, and then you'll be able to type the issue in the area. So, all right. So let's go. I'm sorry. Text box list is what I meant to say. Sorry. You put the issue and what the issue is. So let's go back to this. So if you think about it, some issues might be computer laptop issue, printer issue. You have to think about, are you going to do a description window as well? Again, do you want so many boxes, or do you want to be able to differentiate that based on this issue, this is the description? I personally am going to do text box. If you want to separate them, choose a drop down for your issue, then choose the option to put in the description, right? So let's go with next. But I want to state that that's what I'm doing. So I am going to say issue category. and description. And I want to put a few categories in here, right? So maybe I want to do, um, actually, I'm going to go back, right? So let's first do a drop down because we're going to do a major category. All right, so main issue category. Because you want to try to help your tech support as much as possible, find out exactly what's going on, because some words is used in hardware, then there's some used in software. So the first thing you want them to select, is it a software issue or is it a hardware issue, right? Or is it maybe it's a network, uh, and let's just say connectivity. I normally have to sound out stuff, that's just me, right? Maybe the issue they have is not even that. Maybe they can't even access their account. So account access issue. No, you probably want to match it wherever else you have things. For instance, we have a virtual support social media. So I'm going to peek at that here in a second. Security. If whatever you put in here, you might want to put over there too, so that everything kind of sync and organize to match, right? So let me look at our social media. What we have. We have item delivery issue. We have my SaaS support issue. We have LMS support issue. We have social media support issue. Password set reset issue. So we know hardware, software, network, account access that goes on the password, because we're going to do the sub issues right now. The security and compliance, hardware, device troubleshoot, device setup. I think the only thing we could potentially add separately is item delivery issue. And we put that on the technical support because sometimes technical support replace an item and then maybe the address was wrong, or maybe it's delayed for some reason, or maybe when it arrived it's broken or damaged and so forth. So we put item delivery issue, right? Access, security, software. And then the other thing that I'm going to put is application and platform issues. Missing the R there. Okay. So, all right, like for us, we have like different application and different platform, right? Right. Even though that falls under software, but we want to do digital applications as well, right? So let's just go with save. All right. So those are the main issue category. Now I'm going to add the field text box, and I'm going to use the text box list now to add those other fields that I talk about, right? And now I'm going to do sub category issue and description, because I want them to describe what the issue is in the box that's going to be next to it, right? So now we're going to get down into it, right? So our first issue, so let's just say for under hardware, what are some of the hardware issues that we might be thinking of? So let's just say computer, laptop, hardware issue. Maybe our staff got a printer um, and a scanner. Maybe it's a docking station. And even though we have hardware laptop, let's put monitors separately. And we want to put mobile devices and tablet. Let's put them in the same area here. What other hardware we could have? Believe it or not, cords and um, storage. Okay. What else could we have? So we have docking station, we have laptop, we have monitors. Oh, webcams and desk. Under monitors, we're gonna put monitors and uh, all right. So we're just gonna, some people list is going to be longer. There's a lot of companies that mail out different things, right? Some companies they also mail out us internet boxes. So we can say internet and data boxes. Some people mail out mobile, what am I trying to say? Internet service, right? So let's click save because we want to move on from that. Okay. So that's in the sub category. We had under hardware. What did I miss? I think I missed something there. Oh, I know what I did. Okay. Just say. I'm getting a little quiet on you right now. I want you to really watch. And I'm just moving stuff from my spreadsheet here. So under the software system, so example, educational software, like our learning management system, And you can always put a placeholder if you want to explain to the customer in a form what it is. You can always put that there. Um, that's what these placeholders are for. If you want to say, hey, if it's an issue with your software, operating system, like Windows and so on, if it's an issue with your Windows, you could put that there. You could kind of explain the problem. Specific or specialized problem, you could put that there. I already have that in my spreadsheet, right? Then I'm going to switch over to Facebook to see if there's any problem. So we already say educational software. We already say productivity software. We already say operating system. Um, we're going to specialize a little bit more on the software. We know that operating software can be your Powergizer, but we're going to specialize and say CRM here. This would be specialized application would be right there, but we're just going to put that. Okay, so we click save, right? So that is software. Now I want it to match, so I'm going to do something. I'm going to click edit, and I'm going to put software in the front. Never be afraid to go back and correct your work. You know, when you are prideful or take pride in what you do, then you will always not have a problem to go back and fix. All right. So then next we're going to add a field because one of the other fields we want to do is network connectivity, right? So we're going to do the text box. Now, keep in mind, some of you are using these right now as because you have one CRM, you're creating these as form fields under that one CRM just the same, right? Because you already created a folder for your technical support. So your folder would be technical support. Within that technical support folder, you're creating these fields right now. So under network connectivity field and connectivity, um, that's the subcategory. So we're going to put uh, subcategory because remember we have it as a main category. So we're going to put subcategory, right? Issue and description. And you could always shorten this, right? So you could always shorten that. Then you're going to put, is this a Wi-Fi access issue? Then I'm going to put that it's a Wi-Fi access issue. Maybe it's a wired network. Some people work out of an office and it's not using Wi-Fi, it's wired. You have to differentiate. Or maybe there's even your technical support can have problems doing remote access. Maybe you can't remote access. So you want to make sure, check to see remote access issue. Or is it an internet service issue? If you send an internet box, then obviously you want to check all of those. I'm going to leave it there for now. You can add as many network connectivity issues that you want to add. So we're going to click save for right now so that we can move through. Then we're going to do the same thing again. Um, for this one, we're going to do, uh, let's say they can access their account. So we're going to do account and access sub. And if I just press subcategory, maybe I would have had all of that in there. Subcategory, um, issue, and description. So this is the main one that they're going to use, right? Login problems, that's password reset and everything. Again, you can always put on the placeholder so that if this shows up in a form, they have a description of what they're putting there, what it's supposed to be. Permission label issues. So this is permission issue. Maybe you have someone in your CRM and you tell them to do a task and they don't have permission to do something. So then they need a specific access. Um, they're not going to always have someone to call. Maybe it's a student that can access a class. They don't have permission to access the class. Then that's what that is. Maybe they can access their email, right? They lose the password, or one of the common issue that they have is the being able to two-step verification process. Yep, that's one. And then data access issue. Maybe they just can't access their data. So you want to put data. Authenticator is one of them too, but leave that under permission. So problem access or retrieving database. I recently had one where the person was able to log in and everything, just that when they get to the part where the data is, it's a blank screen, right? So data issue. So we'll leave that there for right now because we want to move on to, I think we have one more, security and compliance, yeah? So we want to do security and compliance. So if I start typing sub, it gives you the description and you could just type security and compliance. Again, you could shorten that to compliant, but because I know I'm going to use it in the form field, I'm not going to do any shortcuts. Each subcategory and description. So what are some security and compliance that issue that they may have is virus and malware issue. Another security and compliance issue is probably the data privacy issue. Another thing is probably policy compliance issue, right? One thing, some of the websites right now, like some people, they are trying to put onto their website the cookie notifications and stuff like that. And or CRM is able to put or they're doing a funnel and they want to put it in the funnel or the website from the CRM, or on their website they're using the chat widget and the chat widget is popping up next to where there's so many different things, right? So save. Okay. So we are done with that. Then what else? So we want to see really quickly. So that's on the issue. So we still have ticket management and resolution, but let's look really quickly. Let's go to the one contact that we have in there and see the issue details, how that comes out. So there it is. So remember I tell you there's a field for description now. So hardware subcategory, computer laptops. You could either state, what type of computer. Now, if I had put some information in here, I could state, what it is that they need to do. Okay, so fill in the value, printer, scanner. Then under subcategory C, the operating system, education. So if this person put computer, laptop under hardware, right? Obviously, it's probably something to do with their operating system. So they will put in the information there. If it's not network connectivity issue, then it's not, so they're going to choose one of these and they're going to put in the information, right? Or it might be multiple, like I said, but chances are, if it's not hardware, so what is the main category? Hardware, software. If it's software, then they're going to choose one of these. And when you do it on the form, you could put the options where if, in your logics, where if it's a software issue, only the software will pop up, right? So that's something for another day for forms. So we click, obviously, I don't want to save this because that's not what we're doing. So I click cancel and I'm going to go back to settings. I am going to go back to custom form. I am going to go back to folders because now I'm working under ticket management. So we are getting there. All right, so under ticket management, what do we want to know? So we're going to add a form field. We definitely want to know the date and time of this ticket. So we're going to put a date picker and we're going to want to know the date. So we can choose a couple of dates, right? So either we need two dates in here. Date submitted, date ticket submitted. Listen, and then click save. And then I want to know the date that the issue began, right? So date of device issue. Or I could put date issue, device issue started. So there's a few dates you're probably going to have in your form fields as you're thinking about them now. Date, it was item delivered, date, requested, all of that stuff, right? You'll have ticket management. Um, Approval requested. We got that backwards. Approval. Oh, come on already. Approval request. Date. Wrong page. Date picker. Approval requesting. Save. So you could go on and on with a different type of dates, but make sure you specify because if you just put date, all you're gonna have in your system is date, and you won't know what type of date it is, right? Why is my submitted spell submitted? Sub. Okay, save. All right. So we got the date in. So now we want to, for the sake of time again, we want to know the priority level, right? So what are the different priority level for a ticket, right? You can choose. So here's a couple of options. If you leave it blank for your customers or whatever to choose if you're using this on the form, to write it in, they might not know what to write and they might write the wrong thing. So I say you allow the user radio select button or a drop down to choose to put in the priority level. So you're going to put priority level. And what are some example of priority levels? Obviously, you're going to have low priority. I would put that there first. And then what are some other priority? Medium priority, if you're using low and high and medium. Next priority is going to be high priority. Again, each organization is then critical. Now, when you're in the education business, your students' lateness is your urgency in their mind, right? So when they have to post or submit something by a certain time, then hey, they are trying to get into the system and nerves and everything make them lock out themselves. And now it's critical for them to get into the system because they have to post their work by 11:59 p.m. Right? Um, so then you can have some subcategories for this, like because they have a priority level, then you want to say if it's a critical, what's the urgency? How many people is it impacting? Um, Urgency. How quickly do you need for this to happen? What's the workaround availability? Is there like a temporary solution? What's the resource that's available? So you can add some additional stuff as you go, right? But so we've done with the priority level. What's the other thing you want to have on your ticket now that you've done the priority level? Um, what field are we under? We're under ticket management. So we probably want to know the current status. So what is the current status of the ticket, right? So what is the current status of the ticket? Is it open? Is it closed? Is it in progress? What is the current status of the ticket? So let's work on that. So maybe you can use, again, I would probably choose a drop down in this case, right? For them just to change it to, you could keep going back and changing it. So current status of tickets. Be specified, because if you just put current status, I probably should put priority level of ticket. If you just put, even though it's on a ticket management, when it shows up in the form, you want to make sure that it's saying current status of ticket, not current status of, because you probably have current status of the approval. There's different things. It's a ticket overall that you're trying to see what the current status is. Unless you're going to use that current status for everything, right? So what type of status is it? Is it at a new status, right? And again, you could say new ticket. Sometimes specifying make your process easier. New ticket. You could say open ticket. You can say pending, user respond, or requester response. But sometimes, it's the you send them an email. Um, Maybe it's pending third party. Sometimes you're waiting on a third party to do something. Um, and then, or it could be ticket in progress. Sometimes it's just best to have that. Um, my favorite, what do you think my favorite is? Ticket, ticket resolved. Right? Ticket closed. But watch what I'm going to do next. I'm going to put ticket closed unresolved. Resolved. And then I'm going to put ticket closed resolved. Then the next thing I'm going to put is ticket reopened. So you could stay in the same pipeline. And then depending on the CRM, you might have some special statuses that you could customize to fit like your institution. Maybe one is awaiting, everybody is different again, awaiting parts and supplies, something like that. Or, maybe you have to escalate the tickets because it needs a different level of approval than yours. So you can't close it, you can escalate it, right? So those are the fields. So I'm going to click save. You can add more custom fields later. So again, we're still under ticket management. So we have just done, where did we go? We did the current statuses of the ticket. And then finally, we're going to do a radio assign technician support or agent. If you know who your technicians are, you could probably do a drop down instead and choose. But you could do that when you do the assign in the CRM, right? Right now, I just want to put a yes or no, right? So is this assigned or unassigned, right? So we're gonna put assign technician. Let me go back. I think instead of just a yes or no, we can do one better. We can also allow the person name to go in the box so we can show like the transition because we have um, support, right? And they use the same account. So we can choose the different individuals by writing their name in or choosing them. But what I'm going to do is even create an additional box for anything to be written in. I was going to go ahead and choose a drop down or a checkbox, but I'll do the text box. Why? I'll show you. I'll make it a status instead. So that's why I wanted to do a box instead of a simple yes or no. So I'm going to put unassigned because maybe the one person that that needs to, you know, that needs to work on that particular problem is unavailable, so it remains unassigned, or it's looked at, so it's pending specialist. Right? So it's pending a specialist, right? So a special specific tech support, or maybe it's assigned or maybe it's escalated. So we need to know the escalated manager. All right. Okay. So we can add other fields, but I want to show you why I did that. So let's go there. So we're going to go to the contact and we're going to look under ticket manager and we're going to look at the last. So if it's unassigned, you can always put a reason, right? Maybe it's the weekend. Maybe it's, on call, that answer I need to put unassigned. Pending specialist, maybe it's a specific person that it's pending, um, but we need to put their name there, who is a specialist. Assigned to an agent, we can put the name of the person that it's assigned to. Because when we're in here, we're just going to put virtual support that the account is assigned to. So we can put the agent there. Escalated to a manager, we need to put the manager that it was escalated to there. Okay. So that's why I did that way. All right. So we have one more and then we're done. So we're going to go back to settings, go back to custom fields, go back to folders, go back to add fields under resolution and feedback. No fields are there. Add fields. So the first thing we want to know is we want to know the resolution description. With this one, I'm just going to, because this is technical support, it can be extensive. I'm actually going to do a bigger box. So that's all this is. Single line is a smaller box. Multi-box, sometimes it's used for address and stuff. If the information is extensive, then we'll go ahead and make sure we have a box to fit that. So we want to go ahead and put that we're looking for the resolution description here, and we're just going to click save. Then the next field that we're going to add, we want to be able to choose again the date and time. And I think I might have forgotten to put the time under the ticket. The CRM doesn't allow you to choose date and time at once. So first you got to do the date. So you go to that date picker there and you choose the date, right? So resolution date, we're going to take that out and we're just going to put save. And then I'm going to create one specifically for the time. So I'm going to put time there. I had cut that out. So I'm being lazy right now. Time, save. So actually, I'm going to click edit because what time, right? And I'm going to put resolution time. See, I told you I was being lazy. Go back and edit if you are taking any kind of shortcut. You still want your work to look good, right? All right. And then we are going to, we don't know if follow-up is required. So we're going to ask, you know, is there follow-up that's required? We're considering the form field at this time, so I'm not putting them together. So I'm going to allow them to choose yes or no. Quite simple. And then click save. And then I'm going to add a field separately for the type of follow-up that's required and cook a big box because maybe the person likes to talk. So, so I'm going to go ahead and put type of follow-up required so that they can, fill in all that they want there. And maybe there's a feedback that the tech wants to put, or maybe the person even. So we're going to put feedback because maybe they reach back out after and give some feedback. So we're going to choose a big line just the same. And we're going to put feedback. And we're going to click save. So there it is. So we have all our folders for a technical support team. So let's look at them. So for the main folders, we have your contact folder, your general information folder, your additional folder, your issue detail, ticket management, resolution. I wanted to show you specifically when dealing with a virtual support ticket. So I did not touch these two folders because they're for general information. You could put some information in there that you want to see about your customer. But under the contact, that's where we're going to put the requester information, the requester fields. And so the fields under there are the requester's name and contact information. Date of birth is a standard field, so we leave it. Contact source is a standard field, we leave it there. But under the contact type, we went ahead and we edited the contact type so that that contact type can have the type of customer are the type of individuals that the type of requester, student, customer, client, whatever. Department and department school. We allow you to put what department it is. I'm going to switch those around so you can choose a school first, school or institution. And then for the department school, you insert the information there. Then additionally, we had the issue that we created the fields for. Is it a main issue? What is the main issue? We choose some options there. Subcategory issues from hardware, software, network, account, and access and security subcategories. I'm probably going to add a few more because I'm going to look back on Facebook to see what I need to, make sure is in each one. And then we went to our ticket management. Under ticket management, we want to make sure that we're managing our ticket correctly. The date of the ticket, the date the device issue started, the approval request date, priority level. You're going to put a lot more dates in there, I'm sure. Current status of the ticket and the assigned technician that's assigned to the ticket. And then we took a look at the resolution that we want to do. We want a description for the resolution, the date it was resolved and the time, any follow-up requirements and type of follow-up required, and the feedback. When we take a look at the contact itself, we get to see all the form fields here. When you click these arrows, it kind of shrink it down for you so you can see the same folders that I just mentioned. These are the folders here. Those are the folders. So that's what it looks like on the front end. And as you can see, all the things we talk about and all the priority for the tickets and everything are in there. So low priority, high priority, whatever it is, the current ticket status. Is it a new ticket, open ticket, pending ticket? There's all the statuses that are there. If it's unassigned, the reason, if it's pending, who is it pending, if it's assigned, who is it assigned to, if it's escalated, who is it escalated to, and then the resolution. What was the resolution? What was the date, the time? Was there any follow-up? So now we get to see all of that in motion. So this is how you build a CRM. And if you're focused on building out the virtual support department of your CRM, this is how you would create the folders that lands under your contact information and the action that's taking place for a support ticket. Thank you for tuning in. See you next time.